either. Zest, he likes to play that late game macro PvP. Doesn't really work out about creator like we were saying, but other players, he shows some great games. Recently going down to stats in the round of 8 of SSL. Stats making it look pretty easy, actually.
That's right.
I think it was a 3-1 or 3-0?
I think it was a 3-1. Oh, 3-1, yeah. 3-1, so. Yeah, he hasn't had much PvP success in a while. So it's kind of an interesting one going into. Hurricane is also a player we don't get to see that much.
Yeah, Hurricane's a good player though. You know, he in last season I don't really remember him doing much, but this season he's beginning to get a bit of a role going. He's taken best of 3s against CJ Hero, one of the best Protoss players in the world. Like he has the talent there. He hasn't really found his stride. Kind of reminds me of Dream of last season, actually, where he's, you know, he's good, he's got potential, but he just hasn't really gotten the success that he deserves.
I kind of feel like they just don't play Hurricane enough either, you know? Like, he comes out now and then, but it's not like he hasn't played, like, that much Pro League compared to a lot of these other players. But, I mean, against someone like Zest as well, like, he has a great shot at, which should really boost his confidence, because Zest he's just been struggling.
Yeah, he really has. Talking about Hurricane, he's only 3-4 here in Pro League, going about halfway through round 3 now. So, as you said, not really playing him that much.
Yeah, not much at all, actually.
Even with how much Samsung is struggling so far. And look at this. We do actually have one vote for Hurricane.
Wow.
No 6-0s today.
No 6-0s today, man.
Yep. And that, of course, is the middle caster, the MC, the host of the Korean desk, going for Hurricane.
Well, here's Zest, the most handsome pro gamer in the world. Recently lost to Dream in his last Pro League match. Before that, lost to Stats 1-3 in SSL. He hasn't had too much success with PvP, but he has his wins now and then. You know, he beat Youngshik, he beat SOS.
He beat Daisy.
Beat Daisy, man. I mean, he has.
I forgot that Daisy even played.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen him, actually. But you know, he has potential there. It's just he keeps running into these roadblocks, especially if it's his teammate or if it's a creator. Against someone like Hurricane, we haven't seen him play yet.
Yeah, that's why this is going to be an interesting one, I feel. You know, Hurricane could definitely give Zest a run for his money.
As we saw there, it was 6-1 against Hurricane in unofficial, or including unofficial, so that says a lot, you know, about the history of these guys, but I don't think that's been in Pro League at all.
Trumpets.
Oh, I hate this song. Every time.
It's actually hurting my ears right now.
It's like eats away at my soul. Such a bad song. All right.
Let's hope Jason Derulo isn't watching Moonblade.
Well, it'd be a bit awkward, man. He can tweet at me if he wants.
He can go head-to-head with you in Starcraft if he wants to talk any more smack.
He wants to. No, I mean, if people like the song, it's great. I don't judge. Eats my soul. But Hurricane defeated Keen recently in Pro League. It was his last game. Before that, Hurricane lost to Young, so it seems like he kind of comes out a lot against Terran players more than anything else. But it's such few and far in between, man. He has not played many games this round.
Yeah. Let's see what he can do here against Zest. We're going to jump into game number 2 here on Cactus Valley. Let's see if he'll be able to get Samsung Galaxy on the board, or if they're going to have even more trouble. Let's go into the game right now. Down here in the bottom left in the red, it is the Chisel Toss himself. It's Zest.
And up here in the top right, we do have the Samsung Protoss. He is Hurricane.
We both did that at the same time.
I knew you were going to do it, Valdez.
We're becoming linked, Moonblade.
Yep.
You could almost say that we're becoming an Archon.
You wish, man.
What?
No,
come on, Moonblade.
No, we've had a lot of time together now, Valdez. We're definitely we've had that connection, man.
Yeah, I don't want to use the word Archon though.
What should we use?
I don't know, man. What else joins together?
Siamese twins.
I suppose, but we're not like literally physically connected, Moonblade.
I could hold your hand while we cast.
That would make us closer to Siamese twins for sure.
Yeah. It'd be a bit weird if anyone in the studio saw it there.
It could just be like our little thing. No one needs to know, except the few key people watching the cast tonight.
No. Well.
Bit of a faster gate for Hurricane.
Got that 7-second advantage, Valdez.
Yeah, man.
Gonna come into play here. I can sense it.
You feel it?
Zest is in trouble, man.
I can feel it as well, Moonblade. These guys are at cross spawns.
Yeah, this is actually going to be a pretty long game when you think about it.
Yeah, we kind of expected it, though, between these two.
Between these two, on this map especially, Cactus Valley, I mean, you can just look at the map layout. It's so hard for, armies to engage each other, especially if it's a mirror match. Just makes it that much trickier. So we're going to see a bit of a drawn-out one. And I know Zest likes to go for those drawn-out ones. He likes to get to those Tempest sometimes. I'd love to see him go Tempest again. I think they're very strong, if done right. Like we saw a game recently. I believe it was SOS against Sora, I believe.
I think I know the game you're talking about.
And Sora actually was doing fantastic because he went to that late game. He went to those Tempests, but he let SOS build such a bank that when they had that big army fight,
I know
Sora kind of like won the fight, but then the remax kind of happened in a second from like 16 gateways.
It was 16 stalkers just pop out with Blink.
Just crush him.
+3.
So the potential's there, but you've got to make a move on the map. You can't hesitate. And look at this. We're actually seeing some pretty sneaky play from Hurricane.
You cheeky bugger.
Cheeky bugger. Gonna go for, looks like it's going to be that DT Shrine.
Yeah, straight up. Getting those two gases very quickly.
This scout is going to be money there. Oh, man. Sees one pylon. Mothership, of course, not going to deny him scouting the whole base. He's going to scout everywhere. Look at that.
So he should know.
The jukes are legitimate. Oh, not going to find the back of that base.
He was trying to find a pylon, but he's not going to find it. I think he can reasonably assume that Hurricane is being pretty sneaky.
Stargate is going to be the choice of Zest. Now this is scary. If he's going to go for Phoenix, blind Phoenix counter, he just loses the game.
Yeah, you actually just lose the game straight up.
You lose the game.
So what he needs to do is scout the map, try to find the proxy. Unfortunately, the proxy location of Hurricane is pretty genius because it's going to be very hard to get a probe in there on this map. There's a bit of a choke there at the natural, so you can protect it against any probes that try to come in and scout. Also, it is kind of hidden. It's in the back of the base. It's not easily going to be scouted. This Mothership core is going to be the closest guy to it.
Yeah, let's see where that heads. I think it might actually just find it.
Yeah.
Look where it's going.
And at that point, you can just make an Oracle and play safe, and Zest is going to get really far ahead.
Really far ahead. Even game-winning far ahead.
Yeah, I think he's actually just going to scout it. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Game paused.
Got a little bit of a problem here. Hopefully it's a legitimate problem. Otherwise, there will be a warning to KT. We don't want to see that.
No.
Looks like he's changing his settings, so he's going to get that penalty.
Yeah. Looks like hotkeys.
Yeah, hotkey problem.
Yeah. So.
Zest.
That's your own problem.
Yeah.
It's not something wrong with your computer, so you probably will get a warning.
You got to do that at the start, when you're warming up. Just look at Hurricane. You're looking a little nervous. He's at a critical time in the game because DT Shrine is near finishing.
He's probably not very happy with this pause.
No,
to put it lightly.
Throwing his momentum off a little bit, that rhythm in the game. He's like, all right, I know what's going on. I'm getting that pylon down. The DT Shrine nearly finished. I'm going for that killing move already. But guess what? It's going to get scouted by him on the Mothership core in just a second. Unless
let's see if that Mothership core actually does get the scout.
If he turns it around, I'd be very surprised.
He could actually just go down the middle here.
But
at the same time, if you want to save your Mothership core and not get it attacked, you would go against the right side. So I think it could actually scout this.
Yeah, I think it might just scout it. And
both players are ready now.
A little bit of a thing on the board there. And it scouts it.
Okay.
There you go. Now, that makes a bit of a salty game for a Hurricane. I'm thinking he's still going to commit to it there. There's no real going back at this point. I guess he could just throw down a Nexus. He might want to do that. We'll see. No, he's going to throw down the Nexus and finish it up. So it's not going to be like a DT rush. But look at this. Oracle moving across the map. Nope, turning it around now. Just a bit of a mistake there with the rally.
Did he actually spot that?
Yeah, he spotted it. All right, so the Oracle's waiting on the ramp now. DT coming in, but it's going to get figured out in just a sec. There we go.
Gets a probe for his troubles, but...
Gets a probe. And he should go down.
What? Oh, look at this. Mother's of Coral almost goes down. He was trying to save it.
He doesn't get the kill on the DT. Oh, he commits with the Pulsar Beam.
Yeah.
But you know what? Committing with the Pulsar Beam gives him an opportunity to throw in another DT if he really wanted to. He wanted to commit that if he wanted to be so bold.
That would be cheeky.
That would be cheeky.
That's like the definition of cheeky.
Well, I mean, there's no detection, man. There is no detection now. Not for a while.
I'm trying to find the pylon, and he won't?
He won't.
Looks like he may have just barely, pretty close there, but regardless, it looks like both players just going to transition to getting a Nexus, getting a Robotics Bay up. Robotics, at least.
Yeah, looks like this is going to be a transition from here. Both of them finishing their expansions around the same time. And yeah, it's simply just going to stabilize from here. Ooh, Oracle, got to be careful.
So it looks like Zest, he gets a slightly, very, very slightly later Nexus. Also, a slightly more ahead robotics facility here. So he's going to get that first observer out as well as the Immortals out in the map. Whereas Hurricane is going to commit to Blink. And even 2 sentries here.
No, this is interesting. Going to be triggering out that sudden overcharge. But yeah, a couple of sentries is interesting. I wonder if he plans to be very aggressive with this style.
I suppose with Blink and a bunch of force fields, you could force field off the Immortals and just go for a Blink trade.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely one way to go about it. Still, it's such a hard sort of base to engage into as well.
Yeah. At the same time, Zest himself did get a bunch of sentries out there. I think about 3 in total. Yeah, he has 3.
Yeah, just going for that Immortals there. I much prefer where Zest is at. Tech-wise, army choice. The only thing he's missing out on is upgrade. He's going to be a little bit behind in that attack upgrade. Nothing too devastating. Not when you got an Immortal. That Immortal advantage for sure.
Oracle going to come by for another scout. And Hurricane, in fact, is going to commit to Robotics Bay. So, not going for any kind of shenanigans with the Blink. He does commit to 5 Stalkers.
He's just going to be like a little bit further behind than Zest when it comes to the Colossus count. You know, he's going to be a minute behind.
I don't really like his position overall compared to Zest. But really, the only thing he's got on Zest is the Blink and the upgrade.
Yeah, is that even really an upgrade advantage? I mean, considering like there's Immortals out already for Zest. He's going to Colossus now. He feels like he's just in a much more stable place. He's just like one step ahead when it comes to the tech choice and army choice. And we do see that occasionally in these games. You know, like one player just has that one-step advantage. Yeah. Look at this, even going to go for that third base long before we see Hurricane choose to go for it. Going to make his way down now by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's really confident play out of Zest. He knows he's ahead, and it's a very big map. He can get away with this. He knows that no push from Hurricane is going to come for a while. And we actually see Hurricane do the same. So, there you go.
You know, it's going to go into that big death ball of Colossi gateway units that we've seen so much, and especially this kind of map. It's going to come down to a lot of positioning, a lot of choices and where this all happens. The third bases are definitely a lot more exposed on this map. You know, if you go around the sideway, there's such a big sort of choke to fight in, so it's a lot easier to engage compared to trying to go anywhere near that natural.
See 2 more DTs being warped in. Might just be for an Archon. There you go. I was wondering if he was actually going to commit to more harass, but since he's already got that Dark Shrine, you can get some Archons out instead. Maybe even go for a bit of a push.
Yeah, a bit of a push. Would be the way to do it. But, you know, both players just playing on the defensive. I think there's like really no reason to even push the issue when you're like in this sort of stalemate kind of type of game. Like, Zest has a small advantage, but if he moves across the map, that advantage essentially disappears. His production is pretty similar. An army type. The advantage in upgrade for Hurricane is getting pretty big at this point. You know, he's half done with his +2, and Zest hasn't even started his.
could become a bit of a problem as we go later and when we actually do have those engagements. The one big thing that Zest is already committing to is Tempest. He's going to add a second Stargate.
This is what he loves to do. I love to see this from Zest, and he does it really well. And I was assuming we'd see this because we do see him usually choose this sort of style on the bigger maps like Deadwing as well. About finding that fight, finding the right fight before the game goes too late and the banks get too big.
This Oracle has been so nice for Zest. He has such a great idea of what exactly Hurricane is doing the entire time.
Yeah.
So many revelations, just flying all around the map too, seeing exactly the army size and everything pretty much.
Yeah, it just kind of just gives you like complete vision of what the army is, what the army choice, the tech choice.
And it's going to be so useful once all this Tempests get out too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, spawning for everything. You can't afford to lose it, but yeah, I mean it's such an advantage. I love seeing good Oracle play like this. I think Hurricane should be expecting this kind of style in the late game as well from Zest because he is most likely to go for it, especially if he keeps this Oracle alive. It's just such a pretty big tell. It's like, okay, you're most likely going to go for that style again. We have seen that style again, time and time again.
Hurricane looks like he's going to be the first guy to move out on the map. And I'm not sure about that. I mean, he's down in army supply. So you were talking about how Zest has a slight advantage. Well, Hurricane moves out for an attack. Unless he finds some weak spot in Zest's armor, he's also going to go down. Looks like he may go for a bit of a two-pronged harass here.
It looks like it. It's like running by with the DT into the natural. Looks like he wants to try and drop to the main base with the War Prism and wrap around for that third base with the rest of his army and the Mothership Claw to get out if need be.
It's pretty fancy.
Yeah, this is smart. This is really a great way to do it. You can't commit to a full-on fight in this kind of situation, but you can try and pick him apart. Actually going to really need that Oracle to try and start finding out where everything is as well. Keeping it with his Tempest for now there. And I don't think Hurricane has any idea that Zest has made that choice.
He's going to go for some Hallucination Scouts now, but he's going to fly right over the army. Oh, no, he skirts by. He may be able to see it finally. This is just such important information right now.
Yep. And if he was paying attention, he saw it. See if he has a reaction in the production board.
I mean, he's finally putting down a Stargate, but at the same time, he's already committed to double Robotics Colossus here.
Yeah, that's a massive commitment, and it's like playing into exactly what Zest is doing.
Yeah.
And Zest is going to have a great engagement when they get to max. I think Zest might be gearing up for the move out on the map as well. You know, he's warping in a lot of units, nearly maxed out. And a couple more Tempests just about to pop out, and he definitely has enough to one-shot Colossus at this point.
Yeah, we may see Hurricane, hit his own max and get that +3, but, he's finally making the transition into Tempest, but I love Zest's army compared to Hurricane's right now. The upgrades are one thing, but it's not going to help you out against 7, or rather 10 Tempests soon here.
Yeah, well, one thing Hurricane's got going for him is this sort of attack on this third base. He's coming in now, but there's so many Tempests waiting, and they're going to be one-shotting these Colossus. Or actually, whatever they want, really.
No.
Be dealing that to Archons as well. Going to be focusing on those Colossus.
Ooh. Look at this gigantic warp-in into the main, going to take out one of the Stargates already.
Not bad, but I mean, we've already seen 2 Colossus and an Archon go down up top from these Tempests while this is all happening. So I definitely give the advantage to Zest, and look at the armies. Look at the supply right now, and I think Zest has nothing but to move across the map and go for the kill.
Yeah, I think Zest needs to move out right now. He can't allow Hurricane to build up his own Tempest count. We see him adding 2 more Stargates to go to a total of 4 and try to desperately get the Tempest count out, but I don't think Zest is going to give him that time.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate him going for the same tech, but it's way too late. How is he possibly going to get it out enough in time? Is like essentially he's a critical mass right now with his Tempest. He's got about 10, I believe.
Yeah. See another massive warp-in into the main. And actually at the natural, and only a couple of cannons to deal with this. Zest is just going to go for it. He's pretty much maxed out at this point. Can't afford to defend at this point in time.
Yeah, Zest a little out of position with these Tempests, moving them across now. It should be there in time to deflect it. This Colossus Archon army. He's playing careful. He can pick away at this army for days there. Look at that.
Pretty huge. He will also take down the 4th Nexus here of Hurricane. Hurricane now trying to get underneath these Tempests. He's going to blink.
Still, there's not enough damage with these. Not around a cliff like that. Just such an awkward position to be in.
Yeah, and now the Stalkers can't blink up there with all the Colossi to help him out. Finally, Zest warps in some defensive DTs to deal with the harass of Hurricane.
Kind of surprised that Zest is being a little nervous at this point. Like, he could really go for a great fight. You just got to find the army and start picking away at those Colossus. I'm waiting for some Archons by the looks of things.
Zest has got a massive army. He's got a massive bank. Oh. Hurricane can't even max out at this point. Zest could just walk over him.
Yeah, that bank, man.
But he's delaying. He's not going for it just yet.
I think there's no essential way for Hurricane to find a way in against this army. Not when you have this many Tempests. Nice playing. He's going to get one of these. But look at this fight. It's going to be so one-sided because the Colossus count is dwindled down to 3 at this point for Hurricane.
Zest finally commits to it. He's just putting his Tempest there onto the Colossi. They're all going to go down. He's actually going to get down some of these Tempests of Hurricane himself. There you go. Everything of Hurricanes goes down except the last 3 Tempests. There's that massive Warpin of Stalkers to deal with the rest.
Yep, massive Warpin. Huge bank. Zest playing a flawless game, transitioning to the late game perfectly. He knew what he had to do on a map like this in these positions.
GG. Zest going to get the 2nd win here for KT Rolster, putting them in a great spot now. Our 3rd game of the night is going to be Life versus Deer. Life in a very prime spot to get another all kill for tonight.
Yep, they can close it out. He's going to get 3A. Very good chance of that. It is going to be on Vani Research Station as well. Zex, they've had a bit of trouble in this matchup recently. It's been looking pretty hard, especially when you see like Classic play it. But we've also seen some wins from the Zergs as well. It is possible, especially in a best of 1.
Classic makes this matchup look so unbalanced, man.
Yeah, I look at when Classic plays it and I just question, like, how does Zerg beat Protoss in the late game like that?
Well, how does Zerg beat Classic in general?
How does Zerg beat Classic is a great way to put it, actually.
That's the question there.
Classic's really figured it out. But it's going to be Life there. Life is a dangerous player. Doesn't have that much success in Pro League, really. More of that individual league player where he finds his wins.
Yeah, that's true. Overall, he's 12-8, it looks like, for 2015. So not doing too bad for himself.
Yeah, not too bad at all. Here's a look at Zest once again. Looking fantastic. Building those horseshoes, man. His triceps.
The horseshoes?
The horseshoe, man.
What's the horseshoe?
When you build your tricep enough, like the definition looks like a horseshoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you look fantastic, man.
Today I learned.
Yeah, that's my goal. When I get to the gym, I'm going to build them up.
I was about ready to sign up for a gym, and then MERS struck, so it gave me another excuse to not go.
Well, man, when you see these horseshoes pop, you're going to be at the gym every day.
I'll be joining you, man.
You're going to be looking for my bro science, man. I'm going to teach you everything I know. It's going to be all wrong, but I'll know how to build those tries, man. We could be clip-clopping to the studio every day.
Clip-clopping together.
Oh, man, we're going to look fantastic. We're going to get tattoos of horseshoes on our horseshoes.
On the horseshoes. That'll be nice.
We'll say that, man.
We'll be right back, guys. We'll have a 3-minute break. When we come back, Life versus Deer.